Every night, while most farms fall silent, thousands of hectares across Southeast Asia suddenly light up, not with city lights, but with electric bulbs hanging above cactus fields. This light is not for people. It is for plants, because without it, dragon fruit would stop flowering. Without it, global exports would collapse. And without precise timing, entire harvests could miss international markets by just a few days, costing millions. So why does this fruit need artificial nights? How did a desert cactus become one of the world's fastest-growing export crops? And how do farmers turn glowing fields into juice, fresh fruit, and global supply chains? Welcome back to AgriTech Smart. Tonight, we follow the journey of dragon fruit, from nightlit farms to industrial processing lines at massive scale. Dragon fruit, also known as pitaya, looks exotic, but its success is built on engineering, not beauty. What was once a niche tropical fruit is now a global commodity, with annual production exceeding 1.3 million tons worldwide. Vietnam alone produces over 60% of global exports, supplying markets across China, Europe, the United States, and the Middle East. Behind every fruit on a supermarket shelf is a farming system designed around precision timing, controlled growth, and export logistics. Unlike orchard fruits that grow on trees for decades, dragon fruit farms operate on faster cycles. Production can be scheduled, flowering can be forced, harvests can be timed to market demand. This is not traditional farming. This is industrial horticulture. Dragon fruit is not a tree, it is a climbing cactus. That single fact explains much of its global success. Cactus biology allows dragon fruit to thrive in hot, dry, and semi-arid regions, where traditional fruit trees struggle. Its waxy skin reduces water loss, while shallow but efficient roots absorb moisture quickly after irrigation. Regions like central and southern Vietnam offer ideal conditions. Long sunlight hours, warm temperatures year-round, and soils that drain rapidly after rain. These environments reduce root disease and allow farms to control water precisely. Modern dragon fruit farms enhance these advantages with drip irrigation systems, delivering water directly to the root zone. Compared to mango or citrus orchards, dragon fruit farms can use 30 to 40% less water per kilogram of fruit produced. As climate change tightens water availability worldwide, crops like dragon fruit are becoming strategic assets, not just agricultural products. Dragon fruit farming begins not with seeds, but with genetic consistency. Commercial farms rely almost entirely on vegetative cuttings taken from mature, high-performing plants. This ensures uniform fruit shape, skin color, sweetness, and shelf life, critical factors for export-grade production. Each cutting is planted beside a reinforced concrete post, typically standing 1.6 to 1.8 meters tall. These posts form the backbone of the orchard. As the cactus grows upward, it is trained to spread outward at the top, creating a circular canopy that maximizes fruit exposure to sunlight while maintaining airflow. A single hectare can contain 1,100 to 1,300 posts, each supporting 4 main cactus arms. Field layout is engineered with logistics in mind. Rows are spaced to allow workers, carts, and small vehicles to move efficiently during pruning and harvest. Drainage channels are carefully designed because dragon fruit roots are highly sensitive to standing water. Poor drainage can lead to root rot and yield loss within weeks. Nutrient delivery is handled through fertigation systems, blending fertilizers directly into drip irrigation lines. Instead of relying on fixed schedules, many farms now adjust feeding based on leaf analysis and soil conductivity measurements. This precision approach reduces fertilizer waste while pushing plants toward faster, more predictable production cycles. Dragon fruit's most defining feature is not its color, but its relationship with light. Biologically, dragon fruit is a long-day plant. When daylight hours fall below a certain threshold, flowering slows or stops entirely. For export-driven farms, this natural limitation is unacceptable. The solution is artificial lighting. Across large plantations, thousands of incandescent or LED bulbs are installed above the canopy. These lights turn on for several hours each night, extending perceived daylight and triggering off-season flowering. Entire fields glow after sunset, creating one of the most visually striking agricultural landscapes in the world. This system allows farmers to schedule flowering with market demand rather than seasons. Off-season dragon fruit can command prices 30 to 60% higher than peak season fruit, making lighting one of the most profitable investments on the farm. Flowering occurs at night, with large white blossoms opening for only a few hours. Pollination, often assisted by insects or manual intervention, must occur quickly. From bloom to harvest, fruit develops over approximately 30 to 35 days, giving farms tight control over harvest windows. Lighting schedules, bloom tracking, and harvest forecasting are now increasingly managed using digital farm logs and mobile apps, turning what was once intuition into data-driven production planning. Despite automation across modern agriculture, dragon fruit harvesting remains a human-centered operation, but one governed by strict protocols. Each fruit must be harvested at precise physiological maturity. Too early, and sugar levels remain low. Too late, and skin softening reduces shelf life. Workers are trained to read subtle indicators: skin brightness, firmness, and fruit weight. Harvesting is done manually using clippers, with fruit carefully supported to prevent microbruising. Even small abrasions can shorten shelf life or disqualify fruit from export markets. For this reason, harvesting speed is deliberately controlled in large operations. Harvest teams move methodically across fields every morning. A single skilled worker can harvest 800 to 1,200 fruits per day, depending on plant density and field conditions. Crates are kept shaded and ventilated to reduce heat stress before transport. Within hours of harvest, fruit is moved to packing facilities. Time is critical. Delays increase respiration rates and moisture loss, reducing fruit quality before it even enters the supply chain. Once inside the processing plant, dragon fruit enters a controlled industrial environment designed to preserve freshness and standardized quality. The process begins with washing. Fruits pass through clean water channels that remove field dust, sap residue, and surface contaminants. Excess water is removed using air blowers or drying tunnels to prevent microbial growth. Next comes grading. Workers and optical systems sort fruit by size, weight, color, and skin condition. Export-grade fruit moves to fresh packaging lines, while second-grade fruit is diverted to processing. For juice production, the flesh is separated, filtered, and stabilized. Short-time pasteurization preserves color and antioxidants while ensuring food safety. Dragon fruit juice is valued for its natural pigments, mild sweetness, and growing appeal in functional beverages. Every byproduct is utilized. Lower-grade fruit becomes juice or puree, while peel waste is often composted or processed into animal feed additives. The facility operates not as a factory, but as a conversion hub, transforming fresh harvests into multiple market-ready products. From here, fruit and juice enter cold storage, ready to join global distribution networks that connect tropical farms to consumers worldwide. Silent fields glowing under night lights to high-speed packing lines preparing fruit for global shelves. The journey of dragon fruit is a story of precision, timing, and modern agriculture at scale. What begins as a simple cactus cutting becomes a carefully managed system, shaped by light, data, human skill, and industrial efficiency. Every fruit carries the work of growers who understand biology, engineers who design controlled environments, and logistics networks that move freshness across continents. This is not just farming. It is coordination, technology, and decision-making happening every single day to meet global demand at AgriTech Smart. We explore these hidden systems, the machines, methods, and people behind the food that feeds the world. If you enjoyed this cinematic journey into dragon fruit production, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow AgriTech Smart for more stories from inside modern agriculture. And now we'd love to hear from you. Which crop or agricultural system should we explore next? Share your ideas in the comments below. Thank you for watching. This is AgriTech Smart, where farming meets the future.